When it comes to building AI projects, there are a few things which I do to achieve success. First, even before writing a single line of code, I spend some time understanding the core building blocks of the topic that I am working on. Then, I refer to books and YouTube videos for explanations. Personally, I prefer reading books more than watching YouTube videos, especially books written by esteemed authors and researchers, which are peer reviewed or cited by many other authors. But I prefer YouTube videos as well when it comes to hands on coding. I surf through the research papers on the topic that is closely associated with the project that I am working on. For this, my approach is basically to refer to the previous past 5 years published papers as well as the most current papers in the field. But finally, when it comes to coding, 80% of what I do comes from automatic code generated by AI like ChatGPT or Claude. Does that mean that everything which I do is basically just copy pasting code? Not necessarily, because the remaining 20% is where the most of my learning comes from. When I refer to code generated by other chatbots and then I use it for my own project, what happens is that I then come up with many errors, and finding errors is where the real fun is, because these errors allow me to look at things which would never have allowed me to look beforehand. I am someone who does not have a burning passion for coding. Everything which I do is only in Python, and I'm not even a really good coder at all. We all know that no one really memorizes the code that they're working on in a project, and it's a futile attempt to rewrite everything on your own from scratch. The whole code process for the whole project, it's a futile process because the same lines of code can be quickly generated by chatbots. But the real fun of it, when it comes to programming, comes from solving errors, and errors will naturally come by default whenever you run code. So the real learning aspect of what you are building comes from solving those errors, because they allow you to look at things in a clear manner. Sometimes I like it when the code that I am running gives multiple errors. You might find this weird, but if I run a code and it works perfectly without even a single error, I become a bit disappointed, because I like it when I receive multiple errors from the system. That allows me to work on it, and I find that really challenging and really interesting. Be it a syntax or a logic error, I like solving those errors because it is a fun process for me, much like lifting heavy weights. The process itself feels like a very difficult burden, but when I finally go through with it, I find immense pleasure in doing so. So, finally, what's my advice to you guys? I would say that become addicted to the programming process of getting errors and then solving those errors, preferably without referring to other chatbots for help. Manually solving those errors, or searching on Stack Overflow or on other issues posted by people can be a great way to learn what exactly you are building. And when it comes to AI projects, or specifically the deep learning workflows, I prefer programming in Colab notebooks, and the errors when it comes to those can either be related to Python or the way that you're handling those datasets, the way you're loading the datasets in the data loader, and the way you have defined the function for function of the class for the AI model that you are using and fitting on your dataset, or going through the training and optimization process for 30, 50 or whatever number of epochs that you are running. And even if you think that you have trained the model in a good manner, when you finally try it for inference and you find that the image or any other modality that you are working on does not fit perfectly or gives you bad accuracy, that's when you know that even if you feel everything has worked out like butter, everything in a smooth process, the end result might not be satisfactory. So you once again have to do everything on your own from scratch, and that's where the real fun is. So I encourage you people to go through all this from a fresh perspective and try to embrace those errors that you receive. Try to become addicted to the process of getting errors and solving them. And trust me, this will make you a good programmer.